So taking a look at this figure of driving decision support tools all the way through this, I guess, evolution all the way to big data. We're still in this area of business intelligence, but analytics and big data are really what's kind of ruling today's business environment. So with this, we need to look at a framework for business intelligence and how the idea of being able to bring systems together or data together to process that data and to make some kind of analysis that makes sense, so that way people more specifically at the end of the line have something to make a decision about. So the broader definition of business intelligence, and you can read here, is just really an umbrella term. And it looks at all components of the system, the architecture, database, analytical tools, and so on. However, more narrowly, it really looks solely at descriptive analytic techniques. And descriptive analytics, we'll soon learn, is really the base level for data analytics. But still, it's a foundation that we need to build on. And this is historical, of course, so there's been a lot of technologies that have driven business intelligence. You know, of course, over here, if you look, there's Microsoft Excel and spreadsheets, but also there's going to be some other tools that we're going to learn about, like predictive analytics and data mining and text mining, dashboards, OLAP, which stands for Online Analytical Processing, financial reporting, and of course, other types of tools. We're going to learn a lot about extracting, transforming, and loading, or ETL processes that will go into data warehouses and data marts. So there is a plethora of tools and technologies that have gone into helping form what is previously known as business intelligence. And that business intelligence really gives us that foundation that we need to be able to make strategic and operative decisions. So this is a very common process that we'll look at over time, and it may be drawn different ways, but I'm going to really say a couple of things. First, it's always going to start with some type of data. That data can be in the cloud, Salesforce.com. It could be in someone's transactional processing system. It could be a spreadsheet on somebody's desktop. Whatever it might be, this is a basic data source that people will pull data from. And with the help of some technical people in the data area, they're going to build a data warehouse. And that data warehouse is going to be able to house and combine all that data. However, there's a process this has to go through in order to get the data into these data warehouses. Once it's in a data warehouse, we're actually creating an analytics environment. And this analytics environment is very important because this is where most business users have access to the data that's in the data warehouse. This is usually where applications begin. So for example, it might be something like a dashboard or a scorecard where they can start to look at things, or something that is online that they can drill down further into the data that is generated from the business and evaluate things in order to make decisions. So managers, executives use business processing management strategies in order to be able to improve the business based on what comes out of that analytics process. So we have different types of processing when it comes to data. Very much you're going to hear things like online transactional processing and online analytical processing. And we're going to ask the question, what's the difference between the two? Well, from a more basic sense, transactional processing is to capture data. Online analytical processing is to help with decision support. And you can see here, they talk about OLTP to be operational databases. And this is basically if a if one of the point of sale systems records a sale from a customer, it just records that transaction. The data warehouse, we're going to learn about it later, is to take this data that is in the online transactional processing and actually transform it so that way it is available for decision support. Now, for those people who have had database classes in the past, typically these types of databases for transactional processing are designed in a way to maximize the storage capacity of the basic memory for the database or the servers. Right. However, one thing that you'll learn is, if you're familiar with this, is that that type of storage system is really fantastic for being efficient with space. However, it's not that great when it comes to speed. So by transforming the data in a way that is better for analytical processing, it may require additional storage capacity, but then it can increase the speed to which to do the analysis. So there's a lot of technical issues in the background between OLTP and OLAP, just so you know that as we move forward with our course, we're going to really be focusing more on analytical processing. All right, so I may have mentioned at one time during our in-class lectures who makes the decisions about what projects go forward with business analytics projects. And the answer is anyone that deals with the planning and execution of the business. So basically these are CEOs, CMOs, etc. Now, it doesn't mean that organizationally, like traditionally what happens is we look at an organization as a pyramid, and the president or the CEO sits at the top, and these line workers at the bottom, or these hourly workers, it's not like they have no discussion or input into the matter. In fact, they probably have a huge amount of input, because these people at the bottom of the pyramid typically create the data. So sometimes the analytic projects that are going on will come from ideas at the bottom up to the executives, and the executives then make a choice as to what projects will be working on, and then it'll go back and impact the work below. So all these things combined help organize the strategic direction of an organization, so that way it can improve the functionality and the profitability of the business. So with that, that is the end of the first part of our Chapter 1 slides, and we'll continue in on Part 2 of Chapter 1 shortly.